Hi guys, it is 9:42 a.m. on Friday, the 108th day I'm doing this. Here is your daily dose of hope. And I'm having this physical symptom that my left hand is radiating a lot of heat. Just heat, not pain, but heat. And it's been very informative for me to feel the feelings of fear and like, what does this mean and all of that. But ultimately, I am doing so much every day to heal and to release that I think it's releasing. So this morning alone, I've already done my micro workouts, which is 10 push-ups, 10 jumping jacks, 10 push crunches. I've done my sun salutation. I did an energy thing. I've drank like 40 ounces of water. I've taken a shower. I've done my puzzle process, right? And none of this, remember, none of this is ever to be like, look at me. I'm working my butt off every day and facing my fears every single day to be the example, to hack the weeds or hack the brambles so that you can, walk through. So that being said, it's 9:44 right now. So 44s are like my number. So thank you. Also, my daughter brought in a leaf this morning, and she said it's in the shape of a heart. And I said that at 1:44. So yeah, it's just so exciting. So last night I turned on meditation. I think at like 10:30, which is still progress, still good. And after I did my crunches last, and after I did that, like after my daughter was gone and everything, I felt emotion hit me, and I'm really proud of myself because I stayed with it at least for a bit. And after I released that, at least for a bit, it was like all of a sudden the sky cleared and I got all these like ideas. And then I was taking a shower and I was like, oh, I could do that, I could do that, I could do that, right? And so one of the things I want to say, and I am not, licensed, I just speak from my own personal experience, and like I've helped people, is like I've helped empower people, is if you've heard of IFS, internal family systems, or parts work, for right now, I am simplifying that for myself. And it's been effective. So I'm sharing it, right? So I'm like, okay, as I'm doing my reverse planning process, which I did this morning as well, and let's say whatever the thing was that is absolutely doable, it's not actually unsafe. And usually for me, it's any sort of self-care that I have resistance to. And I've got the laundry going too, so like productive morning. But instead of getting bogged down in all that, I just said, just pretend there's two parts. And I'm holding on, I have two hands, and so I'm holding on to two parts. I'm holding their hands. So I'm about to cross the street in this analogy from A to B. Say it's take a shower. But I have resistance to taking a shower, but I can take a shower. Like, I know that logically, but for whatever reason, I'm having resistance to it. I was finally like, let's just pretend there's two parts. There's the part that wants to, right? And then there's a part that doesn't. And I can like listen to both of them, meaning hear them out, not necessarily abide by what they're saying, but I can hear them both out. I can hold both of their hands, and then we can cross that street to do the action. So that's what I did today when the emotions started coming out after I did my crunches. There was a part that needed to release, and there was a part that was still scared, right? Still scared to release because of it's been so ingrained in me for so long. the facts are that I was like, okay, where are we right now? And I like grounded myself, and we're laying on the ground. No one is around. You are physically safe, right? This has been productive in the past, And so I just held both of their hands. And then I said, and then after this, we'll take a shower. And I just listened to both of them. And then I was able to, like I said, not only like take the shower, but then it was like I had taken out the garbage type of thing in my mind. And so then all these ideas came in of, how I can help people even more, which is what I actually want to do, right? So I'm just really excited because I see every day, almost every hour, like how much I can bring and, real time value. Because I believe that people need to experience success. So that being said, today's quote is turn your face to the sun and the shadows fall behind you. And it's a kitty cat. And I've had these for years, but I'm just like going through the ones I have, and I'm like, this could help. And I do that now where I open my blinds every day. And this does not mean to ignore actual things going on. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, and I even thought of another like breath work thing I could do, which I'm really excited about because I was kind of doing it intuitively and it was working. So that's kind of my metric for if I'm going to, share something. It's like I'm doing it and it's working, so that means it could help someone else. So, but what I mean by that is our nervous system and our brains look to possible pitfalls, like look to the future of possible things going wrong, right? But the facts are no one knows what's actually going to happen, right? No one actually knows. So if you've got like, let's say, a stressful or potentially stressful thing coming up at 6 p.m. today, especially with ADHD and trauma, we feel like we cannot breathe until we've survived that stressful thing. So all day, without realizing it, we are focused on the stressful thing, which is draining our energy even more, right? Like it's just spiraling us down. So I would propose, and this is what I'm doing too, is that potentially stressful thing is at 6 p.m., let's say. What can you do? It gives me chills, so I know I'm on the right track. What can you do between now and 6 p.m. to get yourself in the best possible state so that even if it is, if it ends up being stressful, you are more equipped, right? Because what do we do when we have a stressful day the next day? We don't sleep, right? We eat junk because we're coping. We're trying to we're trying to like push away. We don't want that to happen. So we're trying to numb the feelings. But what if it was like, because a part of me would always say, well, we don't have time to, feel emotion all day. But here's the reality is when you actually do face that, you turn around, you face it, the fear of the emotion, let's say, it doesn't last all day. It's kind of like, okay, you acknowledged me. Now I can move on and I'll let you move on, I think of it like, I try to remember to think of it like, a kid or, something that's like tapping on your shoulder, right? They're tapping on your shoulder all day long. And you're like, I don't feel that. I don't feel that. But you do, right? And you're getting more and more frustrated, right? So nothing good comes of that. So instead, it's like you feel the tap, you turn, you say, what do you need? Like, what do you need? And then from there, you can decide. But it's not like you have this burden on you all the time because you don't want to face it. And like I said, I'm not talking about jumping into freezing cold water. I mean, people do that and that's fine, but we really need to establish that sense of safety in these like baby steps, but they're not. But, society thinks they are. of like, what can I do? Like, what's one step I can take? And that breaks you out of the freeze state. It breaks you out of paralysis. So I just spoke from my heart, so I don't remember what I said, but I hope this is helpful. I'm starting the live body doubling this Monday at 9 a.m. Central. So I'm super excited about that because it takes it from, like I said, chaos, even if it doesn't look like chaos, but like disorganization, almost, what am I thinking of? Okay, let's think of a hose. Yeah, let's do that. Instead of a sprinkler, those sprinklers that go, the rainbow sprinkler, I call it, where it goes like that, where it's going every single direction, but it has very little power, right? We're going to, when you do the body doubling, it turns into a hose, and it's targeted, and it's powerful. I think that's a really good analogy. It just came to me. So, anyway, I'll end this because I know it's getting long, but love you guys, and it's 11:11, so, okay.